Real estate is a great business to be in because in a lot of ways, your success is determined by how hard you work. That being said, there are a few hurdles that, no matter how hard you work, are always going to trip you up, unless you've got a strategy to get around them. Hi, my name's Chris Linsell. I'm a senior real estate writer and coach with theclose.com, one of the premier sources of real estate information, strategy, and know-how on the internet. I'm also a business consultant, working with everyone from single agents to entire brokerages on a wide range of topics, including how they can design strategies to get around those roadblocks and break through to the next level. Today, I'm partnering with Radius Agent to discuss one of those strategies, the real estate team. This approach is perfect for tackling roadblocks like time. There's only so much of it. Eventually, your business is going to stop growing because you can only be one place at once. Roadblocks like experience and know-how. I don't care how much training you go through or how many books you read, not everyone is going to be good at everything. Your business is going to grow to a level that requires expertise in areas that you don't have. And roadblocks like budget. Maybe you don't have enough money to execute the initiatives you know work, or maybe you're not spending enough of your resources to compete with other high performers in your market. A real estate team gets you past all three of these major roadblocks. In this video, we're going to talk through what a real estate team is, who the typical members of a team are, how to form one, and how to successfully manage one. For those of you just starting your real estate career or having trouble getting your business into high gear, I'm also going to make the case for joining a real estate team as one of the most effective means of building a sustainable business that will reward you for years to come. But before we get to all that, let's talk about what a real estate team actually is. By definition, a real estate team is a group of professionals that come together to close more deals than they could separately. Not every member of a real estate team has to be licensed, but in order to function at a high level, most need to be. A real estate team can be as small as a single licensed agent with an unlicensed part-time assistant, or as large as a group of 50 buyer's agents, listing specialists, marketers, admins, and more. I know this sounds exciting, but before you book an entire restaurant for your team's holiday party, let's start small. If you're starting a real estate team, you are typically taking on the principal role, the team leader. The team leader is often the person whose business has grown beyond the constraints of their own time and ability. If you want to keep expanding, you're gonna need some help. The first person a team leader often hires is an admin or a real estate assistant. An admin works to lighten the load of the team leader, taking tasks off their plate that don't directly contribute to client relationships, resulting in closings. Now, we all know how important maintaining your social media is, or correctly filing listing paperwork with your brokerage, or preparing the supplies you'll need for next week's open house. But these are tasks that aren't advancing any of your client relationships directly. They're actually preventing you from spending time growing your business. These are perfect tasks for an admin. Now, make no mistake, this work is far from unimportant. It's just work that, at this stage in your career, is best reviewed rather than tackled yourself. Since admins and assistants don't need to be licensed, they're typically paid hourly, usually starting between $12 and $15 an hour and going up based on skills and experiences. As I said, after your admin lightens your load, you'll have more time to grow your business by focusing on client activity, lead generation, and other tasks that will expand your sphere of influence and create more closings. And as that growth continues, you'll quickly identify other areas of business where there's definitely opportunity, but only so much time. Working with buyers is one of those areas, which is why a buyer's agent is usually the next hire for a real estate team. Now, no real estate professional in their right mind would voluntarily turn down clients, but sometimes agents are more hesitant to work with buyers because of the time commitment. Running buyers around to showings, being available to answer questions, especially for first-time buyers, managing the mortgage process once a property gets under contract, it all takes time. And when your schedule gets full again, a full-time buyer's agent can allow you to focus on working with sellers and managing the business as a whole. A buyer's agent needs to be excited to be active every day. Successful buyer's agents are running around with clients 5 days a week. They need to be great with time, be solid communicators, and maybe most importantly, they need to work well with you and your admin. Chances are you'll be passing a lot of leads in this person's direction. You need to know they are keeping everyone on the team in the loop, both in terms of the progress of their clients and the nurturing of their opportunities. A buyer's agent needs to be licensed in order to take buyers to prospective properties. So more often than not, a buyer's agent is paid 100% in commission. Usually the lowest person on the commission totem pole, a buyer's agent typically makes anywhere between 35 and 50% of the commissions for the deals they close. After a buyer's agent, the next natural addition to your team is a listing specialist. A listing specialist can help share the load with you as the team leader of converting listing leads into listing clients. Listing specialists are typically more experienced agents, and they need to have excellent skills, especially when it comes to pricing a home properly. Remember, the correct pricing of your listings affects just about everything, from your list to sale ratio, your days on market, and ultimately your seller client's experience with your team in terms of meeting expectations. Since listing specialists are usually more experienced in the business, they tend to capture a slightly higher commission rate, usually anywhere from 50 to 65% of commissions. Okay. As a team leader, your team is really coming together. You've got an admin to help dot the I's and cross the T's. You've got a buyer's agent who's servicing the bulk of your team's buyer clients, and a listing specialist to help with all the great seller clients you're getting. So who do you hire next? Well, if you've got 3 full-time licensed agents on your team, you're undoubtedly closing a lot of transactions, which makes the transaction coordinator the next logical step for your team growth. Once a buyer or seller goes under contract, there's a lot that needs to happen to get them to the closing table, including filing paperwork with appropriate parties, scheduling inspections, appraisals, coordinating with mortgage companies, closing companies, and making sure everyone has the right paperwork at the right time. This is generally something an agent can handle on their own, but if your team is closing multiple deals a week, providing support to you and your team using a transaction coordinator whose entire job is to monitor and facilitate the closing pipeline will allow your buyer's agent and listing specialist to focus more on client work. For the same reasons you got an admin, get a transaction coordinator. Your team will definitely thank you. Transaction coordinators don't have to be licensed, though some of them are. Unlicensed coordinators tend to make about the same as an admin. Licensed coordinators often will earn a wage rather than a commission, but it's usually 10 to 20% higher than an unlicensed coordinator. With you as the fearless team leader, a buyer, a seller agent to extend your client reach, and a transaction coordinator to bring deals across the finish line, and your admin to hold it all together, you've got a pretty solid team. But you're not done yet. Real estate teams can also grow their non-licensed members by adding marketing specialists, videographers, social media managers, and just about every other type of professional that supports the work of a busy real estate agent. Do you need these people? No, they aren't necessarily essential to the operation of your business. However, as the reach of your team grows, the number of listings on your docket expands, and the expected closings each year gets bigger, you'll find that adding specialized individuals to your team is going to be necessary to break you through to Hall of Fame status. Okay, now that we're all on the same page about who is on a real estate team, let's talk about a real estate team and how it solves those fundamental problems I mentioned earlier. The problem of time is an easy one. With a team, you really can be in more than one place at once. Your business isn't limited to the places that you can be at one time, allowing it to grow beyond the hours of the clock. A real estate team also solves the fundamental problem of experience and know-how. Instead of working at tasks that you aren't skilled or experienced in, you can hire someone to complete those tasks for you, doing them more quickly, more effectively, and offering you more time back to focus on the areas you are skilled. And finally, a real estate team solves the problem of budget. As a high-performing real estate agent who's considering starting a team, having a budget to devote to your efforts isn't usually the problem. The problem is spending that budget efficiently and at a scale so that you can compete with the other major players in your market. When you're trying to run your business completely solo, all the money in and out flows through you, bottlenecking the number of things that you can do at once. With a team, you can spread that budget around, taking advantage of multiple people's efforts and availability. By now, the benefits of a real estate team are pretty obvious. But before you turn this video off and get started planning your real estate team empire, here are a couple of things I want you to consider if you're going to get started with a team and you want to do it successfully right out of the gate. First, I really want you to do an analysis of your business to make sure you really are plateauing because of time, experience, or budget spend. A lot of agents who are doing well in the business mistake inefficiency for growth plateau. Before you jump into a team setting, do a thorough investigation of your business to find out if there are things you can do in a solo operation to make it run smoother. This doesn't mean that you aren't a great candidate for a team. These are just inefficiencies you're going to want to knock out before you bring others on board. If, however, you're identifying missed opportunities because of lack of time, lack of know-how, and lack of budget spend, it's time to move on to step 2. Step 2 is getting your broker's approval. Now, I know, asking permission to do anything isn't fun. But different states have different rules about real estate teams, so you want to make sure that you know them before getting started. Also, you're going to have to negotiate with your broker on the best way to structure your team's financial details. Often, a real estate team can negotiate better terms with their brokerage for things like cap and split per licensed agent on the promise, or at least the possibility, of bringing in higher volume. After that, you're going to want to develop a business plan for your new team, especially when it comes to the areas of individual agent cap, split, and financial responsibility. Teams will often have their own mini split and mini cap for individual team members in exchange for things like paying MLS dues, lead generation, and other upfront costs. Using what you've learned in the conversation with your brokerage, get a plan in place for what you can offer your future team members. Speaking of tools that you can offer your team members that will benefit everyone, make sure you're also investing in things like a CRM that offers team tracking. Both Boomtown and Property Base are great choices here. Go for some lead generation options that have built-in lead routing, like Bold Leads or even Real Geeks. And when it comes to actually managing your team, there are a few strategies you're going to want to think about that will make the transition to team leader a little bit easier. First, practice the hire slow, fire fast method of people management. Take time to get the right person in the right role. Invest in their success through training and mentorship. But if they're not working out, let them go quickly before their struggle has a chance to bring down an entire team. Most agents know before you do as a team leader that things aren't working out. So be transparent, be supportive, but don't delay the inevitable. Next, make sure to learn the difference between mentorship and micromanagement. Don't be a team leader who is constantly standing over everyone's shoulder. Look, you brought people onto your team because of the work they can do, not because of the work you can do. Set people up with the tools and skills necessary to be successful, then let them do their job. Finally, whenever possible, as a team leader, you have got to practice servant leadership. A team leader that walks into the office with a set of expectations about what the team is going to do for them that day is going about this all wrong. You should be walking into the office every day asking what you can do to facilitate the success of your team members. Ultimately, as a team leader, you are providing other agents with the opportunities to close deals, whether it be through giving them the leads or giving them the skills and strategies that they can use to generate and close their own leads. Be thoughtful about what you can do for each team member. Check in with them weekly, if not daily, and ask what you can do to help them be more successful. If you're new to the real estate industry or having trouble getting the engine revved on your real estate career, joining a team is a great option. As a new agent or someone who is underperforming on the potential you know you have, real estate teams solve the same 3 fundamental problems that they solve for experienced agents, just in a different way. First, they solve the problem of time. As an agent, without enough leads or business of your own, sometimes it's hard to find productive things to do to fill all your time, making your work generally inefficient. Joining a team changes all of that. You've got leads being fed to you, mentorship from a team leader, and processes to perfect under the tutelage of someone who's done it successfully before. It also solves the problem of know-how. The barrier to entry to get a real estate license is very low in most states. You don't have to know much of anything or have much experience to get the license, but the barrier to success is very high. You need to know about marketing, lead generation, client management, referral solicitation, and a whole lot more. As a team member, you don't need to know all of these things at once. You have a chance to learn from people who have specialized in them. Finally, being a team member also solves the problem of budget. When you're brand new to the industry, your marketing budget is near zero. But joining a team where these upfront expenses are typically covered allows you to get started in the field without having to shell out a lot of money right away. When you're considering joining a real estate team, treat it like what it is, a job interview. Do your homework. Come prepared. Ask questions. Be interesting to your interviewer and be interested in what they have to say. Also, remember, when it comes to compensation, you're getting paid in part with all sorts of free training, mentorship, and coaching. I typically charge hundreds of dollars a day for coaching sessions with realtors who are looking for mentorship and to establish a business of their own. You, as a team member, would actually be getting paid for that. This doesn't mean that you can accept less than what you can live your life on. You can't pay the mortgage with coaching and training. But remember, being a part of a team is about learning the business. So keep that in mind when you're negotiating pay. Remember, when you join a real estate team as a junior agent, you're not signing away your career to work under someone else forever. Far from it, in fact. You're signing up for a team experience that is going to give you the tools to launch your own solo career and possibly a team of your own one day. After 6 months on the team, start writing your solo business plan, little by little. Make special note of the strategies that are working for your team and the ones that aren't. Start estimating how much money you'll need to have in the bank in order to get a solo venture off the ground. When you've got a set of strategies you're confident in and a nest egg saved to support your new adventure, you'll be cleared to launch. The best real estate team leaders know that they are not hiring lifelong junior agents. They're hiring real estate professionals with their own goals and their own ambitions. Don't be shy about your aspirations. Let your team leader know. Let them be a part of getting you to your goals. Forming or joining a real estate team is a great way to overcome the fundamental hurdles that you'll be faced with on your way to industry success. Whether you're looking to level up an already high-performing business or just get started, a real estate team is a great way to go. Don't forget to check out my long-form written guide on teams published on The Close. There I go into even more details about teammates, job descriptions, hiring practices, and even business plans. If you're looking to successfully build your team, finding the right brokerage is integral. not all brokerages support teams the way Radius Agent Realty does. Not only do they offer a 100% commission model, they're entirely virtual and offer unparalleled levels of marketing support plus top-notch technology. If you are looking for a home for your real estate empire, I definitely suggest checking out Radius Agent Realty. That's it for me, guys. Thanks for listening. I hope you've gained insight and a plan for getting started in the realm of real estate teams. Don't forget to find me online, connect with me on LinkedIn and Twitter, or just reach out to me on The Close. Thanks. We'll see you next time.